Welcome to Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines. And indeed, this is a movie talk channel where we talk about movie news, entertainment news, and celebrity news every now and then. But we mostly talk about the trending movie news headlines of the day, including James Mangold responding to all the Indy 5 criticism. Kraven the Hunter finds his composer. Dune Part 2 and Die Hard 2 has a quote out from Bruce Willis. That one just caught me by my eye. I thought we could take a look at that. Mr. Beast was going to go on the sub? Oh my god, that was going to go underwater to take a look at the Titanic. Was he going to go on that? Well, we'll talk about that, and I'll give you my thoughts on that whole story as we get closer to the end of the show. And of course, it is Monday, so it is time to take a look at the weekend's box office. But to start the show, I thought we would take a look at the James Mangold and his response to Dial of Destiny reception. So, James Mangold channeled franchise director Steven Spielberg whenever he could while filming Dial of Destiny. So he was really inspired by Steven Spielberg, but the early buzz for Dial of Destiny, that's, 61% is not bad. And the fan, like they've had test screenings and they've shown this like at CinemaCon or something like that. People who have seen it have come out and said that, it's been actually kind of mixed. The critics here who have seen it previously, 61%, it's not a terrible thing, guys. It's not. Here's hoping this is goodbye and not au revoir. What? No, it's going to be the final Indiana Jones with Harrison Ford for sure. The only past that Dial of Destiny is interested in plundering is the glory of its predecessors. So, yeah, I heard there's a lot of nostalgia, a lot of throwbacks, a lot of nods to the other stuff, which is fine. I still have got faith in this, guys. I have faith in James Mangold to deliver this movie because we've seen him deliver with the Wolverine movies, right? I like Wolverine. I know a lot of people really love Logan. Out of the two, I still think I prefer Wolverine. But James, that Silver Samurai scene was just so awful. And I know, but... and people say that Logan is a masterpiece, but I just kind of like saw... It was a little too telegraphed for me. But let's see what James Mangold said about some of the early responses to Dial of Destiny. So he was in an interview with Variety where he says, quote, "When you're in a franchise land, it's very hard for critical thinkers to overlook what I'm sure their editors want, which is the business prism of how it does it, or how does it rate to the other ones." Okay, so always comparing it to the other ones. "I always thought if I were second or third best one of the greatest film of all time, it'll be good. I mean, it all vaporizes later." What the heck are you talking about? Vaporizing? Dude, either way, the movie will live or it won't. Oh, that's insightful news. That's very astute. Either it will live or it won't, says James Mangold about Indiana Jones 5. Guys, I mean, seriously here. James Mangold, I don't know, man. I think... at least he didn't do what Andy Muschietti did with The Flash, where he came out like a couple of weeks before the movie came out and started to spoil everything that was going on in the movie. I still have my high hopes for this. I still hope it delivers a fun ride. It comes out this week, guys. This Thursday, you can go see Indiana Jones 5 and the Dial of Destiny. He does go on to continue to say, "We don't want me doing a knockoff Steven, but I want to be playing the same hymnal, using the same tools. I mean, I'm pinch hitting. Oh, this is a baseball reference. Okay, so I'm pinch hitting for Babe Ruth. At least a lot of analogy here, guys. I at least have used my swing of some time. My own swing sometime, but so he's just trying to say that he uses his own flavor, his own style every now and then in this movie, which is fine. That's what we're trusting you to do. You don't want to make a same kind of movie as like Steven Spielberg. You're never going to fully emulate Spielberg. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Okay, so guys, what do you think about that? Let me know in the comments below what you think about James Mangold's reception there, and or like his response to it. And are you hyped for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny? I am. So I'm just pausing here because I'm getting a widget error. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth rendering. But my OBS says it's fine, and we'll just have to push through it. All right. Yeah. Christopher says in the live chat, hi, how are you doing today? Die Hard 2 have a release date? Yeah, it's already come out. It's just a quote. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Guys, it's Monday, and it's time for the weekend's box office report. Let's take a look. Spiderverse returns to number 1 as The Flash collapses by 73%. And Jennifer Lawrence's No Hard Feelings opens to 15 million. Okay, so yes, Spiderverse, well, came back from the 3rd spot now to be number 1. And depending on which article you go with here, they try to showcase that, right? That Spidey's back on number 1. Elemental, yeah, well, I thought that was going to happen last week. So let's go over to the Box Office Mojo and take a look at some of these numbers, guys, for the weekend of June 23rd to the 25th. Weekend 25 of 2023. The top 5 go. Number 1 was Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Number 2 was Elemental. Number 3 was Flash with its 72.3% drop. Number 4 was No Hard Feelings, opening up in the 4th spot. Jennifer Lawrence, yes. Number 5 was Transformers Rise of the Beasts. And the other new entry this week was Asteroid City, that just came in the 6th spot. No Hard Feelings. Jennifer Lawrence. Both of my reviews are up on the channel right now for both Asteroid City and No Hard Feelings. Go check that out, guys. But let's take a look at those Spider-Man numbers, because it did, well, in my reports, it was inching towards the 600 million mark. It's going to make 600 million. Now, this is not going to be $1 billion film, but the good thing about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is that it had a budget of around 100 million. So it's definitely a profitable film. It's just not the big blockbuster that everybody thought it was going to be. If you make 6 times the amount of its budget, James, does that make it a blockbuster? Well, studio theater percentages plus marketing, yeah, maybe about 3 times the amount that it's. Yeah, it's definitely a profitable movie. I talked about this yesterday. I was a little bit disenchanted with all the VFX houses being mistreated, and I'll just leave it at that. I'm not happy about that. I kind of figured last week that it would flip-flop between Elemental and Spider-Man. Like, Elemental's not that far behind. And it would have been nice if Elemental held on to that 1st place spot, because Elemental is a great movie, guys, and it did hang on to the 2nd spot. It just stayed there and hung there with a 37% drop, and that's nice. That's really nice, because Elemental, I think, is by far the best kids movie I've seen in a while. That's really weird for me to be saying. 121 million. Yeah, that's not. Elemental had a $200 million budget for some. I don't get it, Pixar. You gotta keep these budgets. Like, an animated film shouldn't. Yeah, take a page from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. It shouldn't be more than 100 million. Mario Bros was 100 million. And it made 1.2 billion, right? So that's what you got to take a page from, Pixar. You can't spend this amount of money. And if it takes 5 extra years for it to be done where you're paying your animators and treating them properly with respect and not under these tight schedules where people are quitting left and right, I'm looking at you, Spider-Verse, then yeah, it takes that extra amount of time. But if it comes in under budget, then it's going to be totally worthwhile. That's the way I feel about it, guys. Spider-Man, Spider-Verse, coming back to the number 1 spot. Obviously, it's not going to happen this next week because Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is going to be coming out. And that's going to be easily making 60 million. And that's underperforming. That's an underperforming mark for Indiana Jones to make 60 million. Obviously, Spider-Man is not going to make 60 million this next week. So I expect everything to get shifted down here, one, because of Indiana Jones. But Spider-Verse may fall down to the 4th spot, I think. Because I just can't see how it maintains this momentum. It's possible. And I'm thinking that for the top 3, we'll go Indiana Jones 5, Elemental, Spider-Verse, and then I think No Hard Feelings will still hang in there in the 5th spot. Yeah, and Flash will drop out of the top 5. Asteroid City, it's only opened up into 1675 theaters last week. It's nowhere near the 3,000 theaters like everywhere else. So it's possible Asteroid City may leapfrog No Hard Feelings. It's possible. But The Flash it was the talk of the town yesterday. It did have that 72% drop on its second week, dropping that much. 87.6 domestically, 123.3 internationally, for 210.9 worldwide, with a budget of around 200 million, as they say. Do you guys trust that was what it was? Some of the budgets that do get reported, we find out like months or even years later that they really underreported it. It was really more like 300 million or something like that. So when something like that happens, I'm expecting Flash, because it was delayed. It was sitting in the can for a while. It was sitting on the shelf, and that costs money because you're not making money with it. You got to pay interest on it. So The Flash, it's a movie that people are liking. People have come out of it and said they liked it. It's 84% by the audience, 65% by the critics. Yeah. 65%, like Indiana Jones is around 61%. I just think it's just a culmination of a lot of things. I've watched videos of this over the weekend of people trying to postulate as to why the Flash has done this, and it's not one reason. It's not Ezra Miller. It's not because of the pandemic, guys. It's not because like Snyder fans trying to give backlash. It's like a bunch of those things all coming together for this, that have, the announcement of James Gunn's slate saying that none of these will be important anymore. It's all of that kind of thing. Like the people that know about the Ezra Miller story, it's really infinitesimal. It's really small. It's not loud enough voice to impact the box office like this. It's just people are done. They're tapped out. And it sucks because, I like Superman. I like Flash. I like Wonder Woman. I want them to succeed. I really do. But I saw another person's breakdown of this Flash scenario, and they're like, they want Superman for 2025, the new Superman reboot. And their assessment was that maybe they should just hold it off to 2030. You need to give people breathing room. You need to have people say, well, if it comes out in 2025, why can't we still have Henry Cavill? It doesn't make sense to us, right? No, you got to give people that breathing room where it's got to be out of the zeitgeist for a while. And then you're going to come back. I don't know. Because I'll tell you this. Superman Legacy, when it comes out, it's got to be a movie where we're done with origin. We can't talk about why Superman is, how he got his powers. It's just got to be a good Superman story. Yeah, we can deal with some of the psychological aspects of Superman, but for the reboot, it's got to be a movie that's quick. It's got to be within a budget that makes sense. This 200 million plus budget stuff, it's got to stop, Hollywood. It's absolutely got to stop. And if you can't make it for under 200 million, then don't make it. And don't give us crappy visual effects like we've seen in The Flash. Because I'm one of those people that look the other way with those bad visual effects, because I liked other things going on in the movie. But I fully admit, I said it in my reviews for The Flash, that is some really subpar, god-awful visual effects. You can't do it. And if it doesn't look real, again, if you're not going to drive a car down a dam, then don't drive a car down a dam, right? It's just like, Why can't you just bring in Nicolas Cage and put him in the suit? You can do that. Just do that and de-age him. Don't make it cartoony, for God's sakes. But yeah, that's what they got to do. The Flash, it's just a culmination of all those events that happened, like the budget, the Ezra Miller thing, the fall of the DCU, Spiderverse, the announcement of the new DCU, the confusion around all of that stuff. Recent superhero movies, even from the MCU, have started this culmination effect. And despite what people say that superhero fatigue isn't real, because they pointed out to me in my video that, Guardians of the Galaxy just came out and it was good. Oh, Spider-Verse just came out, so that was good. But guys, you're pointing at one or two things. That's what they're doing. And despite me saying that, yeah, you can pick out one or two diamonds that come out, it's surrounded by this other fallout that's just like they're not seeing the big picture yet. That, yes, while there's one or two peaks that really shine, the rest of it is all crumbling away, and you can't be refusing to look at it. Like, that's what's happening. And they got to be able to make Flash and superhero movies for under 100 million. They have to. Otherwise, guys, you're going to continue this kind of formula. And I don't know how the executives stand for it. Okay, enough about the Flash stuff. I published my own video about that yesterday. Let's go on to the other new releases this week, because No Hard Feelings came out with 15 million, and I really enjoyed No Hard Feelings. I had lots of fun with that. Jennifer Lawrence, I know that you see nudity in this. I'm not going to... Hey, I'm not watching it for that. I'm watching it because I like Jennifer Lawrence as an actress, right? 15 million, 9 million internationally, for a worldwide total of 24.6 for an opening weekend and a budget of 45 million. Now, that, again, I'm talking about grotesque budgets. Why did this cost 45 million? I do not understand it. Had a small set location. You used minimal cast. Like, it didn't have an expansive cast like Asteroid City, right? 45 million. But for 24 million, it's just, and I don't know how it's going to perform in international markets, but the tomato meter, people have come out of this and said they like it. 68%, 88% by the critics. 68 by the critics, 88 by the audience. I like this film. I agree that it has some pacing issues towards the end. They try to wrap things up in a little bow, and then it just kind of goes on. But I like the heart behind it. And it's going to be one where, if it's going to be on streaming services later on, and I'll just put it on in the background and watch it again, because it does have those laughs. And then, of course, Jennifer Lawrence delivers. And this guy who broke onto the scene with this, I thought he did a good job. He came out of Harvard for this, right, to come play this role. And I enjoyed it. So I think it's going to have like one more week in the top 5, and then it'll probably drop off, because then next month we've got like Mission Impossible and stuff coming out, Insidious 5 and stuff. So it's going to be like, this is its only kind of week to have like a really big, strong opening. And I don't know if it's going to be able to hang in there to recoup some of its budget back, which kind of sucks, because it was... Again, a lot of these summer movies are suffering this kind of same fate. I enjoyed No Hard Feelings. Go check out my review. That's up on the channel right now if you want to see my full thoughts on it. Transformers Rise of the Beasts, that fell down to the 5th spot for 341 worldwide take. Again, a budget of like around 200 million plus, right? So... it's going to break even, but just barely. And it sucks, because I like Transformers Rise of the Beasts. And the other one that opened up was Asteroid City. 10 million domestically, 6 internationally, 16.6 worldwide. I liked Asteroid City. What was the budget for that? See, look at that. And people who say that the Avengers movies cost so much, it's not because of the cast. It's only in situations like Fast 10 where you got contracts where if you make a sequel, then the stars get like double the pay. Asteroid City had a phenomenal cast in it. $25 million is all it took to make. So they need to take pages from Wes Anderson and Jason Blum. Dial these budgets down. And if you can't film it and make it look good, then don't film it. I know it's so easy to say in the computer that, oh, we can just make it look like it's sort of supposed to look real in the computer. Again, it's kind of like, yeah, Asteroid City. I liked it. It's not for everyone. 76 by the critics, 61 by the audience. This one, yeah, a lot of audience members are going to be coming out of this going, what was it about? But I liked it because of the scenes. I like the craftsmanship of Asteroid City. I like how it was produced. I like the production style. I like the acting. I like the set design of, it looking like a play, but being filmed. The dialogue is clunky. The dialogue is very difficult stuff. It's very artistic, kind of very art house style film. It's not going to be for everyone, but if with a $25 million budget, $16 million, it's not quite opened up in a whole lot of theaters just yet, because as we can see here, it's only opened up in 1,600 theaters. It's going to have some, this is going to be one that'll be touted around for awards considerations. I don't think it'll be for acting, but mostly I think it could be for like production design. As I said, when I watched Asteroid City, it's one of those movies where it's like every shot of the film could be like a postcard kind of thing. Yeah. It's going to be one of those ones that'll come and go, but it'll be hanging around maybe for some Oscar talk. We'll have to see. But that's pretty much what you need to know from this weekend's box office, guys. Some minor, small ones, all that are there opened up. I'm not going to ramble on too much more about that. But what did you guys think? Did you go out and see any of those movies this week? It was kind of a lull period. Did you go back and watch Spider-Man because you didn't want to watch No Hard Feelings or Asteroid City? Maybe that's why what happened. I don't know. But hey, if you're a Spider-Man fan, then I guess you're enjoying that for sure. So, guys, there are all my other social media handles that you can follow right there. And on top of that, what else can you find here on the channel? Well, if you like these live stream stuff, guys, come join us for a full movie watch-alongs for things like the Black Widow movie. Yeah, we watch these live, guys, so you can come in and watch and join in the live chats with us. We watched Extraction 2 on Netflix. We're going to talk about Extraction 3 here in just a minute. On Wednesdays, we do a Secret Invasion. This is a series that's going to fly under the radar for a lot of people because, again, this is another testament or another exhibit in my case of superhero fatigue, that people just are not tuning into it. But I really enjoyed the first episode, so go check that out. My review, I said, of course, is up for No Hard Feelings and Asteroid City. And yeah, we also watched Grumpy Man Reacts, our monthly Grumpy Man Reacts. Finding Nemo was up there on the channel as well. So yeah, Grumpy Man Reacts, I think it will be a monthly thing. So towards the end of July, we'll put up another poll for a Grumpy Man thing. It's just, guys, I'm juggling the schedule around. Doing movies in the morning is a lot. It's a long day for me. Because remember, I don't finish my other work until like 10:30 at night. So it's kind of like, it makes a long day for me. And it's just like, I don't want to burn out here. It's also summer season. It's also high humidity. And I don't want to be sitting here for 2.5 hours sweating buckets, right? Speaking of which, we can address this now. I'm considering moving movie news forward half an hour to like 10:30. Because I was sitting here this morning ready to go, and I was like sitting here on my hands for like half an hour. And I was like, I should just go. Just start the stream. And adding that extra half an hour at the end of the show helps me out quite a bit. Because once I'm done at 12 o'clock, it's kind of like a rush to get out the door kind of thing. It sucks, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, let's get back into the movie news. Let's talk about Extraction 3, because this came out like last week, but I didn't pay it too much credence. But Extraction 2 has been hitting some milestones on Netflix. And it's like been doing really good. 90 million households? No, that's the first one. They just put up the story. Tyler Rake is back. Sequel. Yeah. 6 days ago. It's been doing well enough. Obviously, it's been doing well enough. And if you watched Extraction 2 with us, you know that Extraction 3, it was a given, right? Chris Hemsworth announces another sequel is in the works, which is fine with us. It's fine with me because I really liked Extraction 2. I actually think that Extraction 2 is better than the first movie, which is good. That's the kind of momentum you want to have when you're building up a franchise, right? Where it's just kind of like snowballs. But don't overplay your hand. If it's just going to be 3, then let it be 3. Because there is some other stuff there that they introduced with like his emotional baggage and stuff that I found like that was really interesting stuff because they didn't bash you over the head with it. And Chris Hemsworth played it in such a way that you were kind of like, I believe this. I believe you, Chris Hemsworth. Yeah, and I really liked it. So at that Tadum festival there in was it Brazil? He came out and he announced this. Announced today at Netflix's Tadum that director Sam Hargrave, the upcoming Extraction 3 will once again star Hemsworth. Okay, good. And I hope they have this more of the second one, please. Just another slice of Extraction 3. And as I said, when we were doing our reaction for it, it was kind of like, this is slowly building up, a rapport here that it's going to be on the same kind of level of a John Wick franchise, Extraction. And it's really, that's nice to say, isn't it? That is kind of like we got John Wick franchise, we got Extraction franchise, so we've got our fair share of quality action. I kind of side with the people out there that were kind of petitioning for Extraction 2 to have been seen on the big screen. I would have loved if seeing Extraction 2 on the big screen, that would have been kind of cool. But that's not Netflix's game. Hey, if we're gonna get a third one, that's cool by me. Chris Schober says in the live chat, I hope that Star Wars Acolyte Season 1 isn't going to be canceled because it's rumored. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be canceled. From what I understand, it's shooting. Acolyte's shooting. And is almost done from what I understand. Our Vikings also says, appreciate your time, James. You've done well to fit it into your schedule, your busy life. Yeah. And it's going to... Well, it's at least for July, it's going to be busy like this. August could be once again slower down because I'm taking that break at the beginning 2 weeks of August because of family stuff coming up. I'm not going to be gone, but the live streams will be gone for 2 weeks. I'll still try to pump out at least one short a day. Like we're not. That's what I mean. We're not going to be gone, but the movie talk stuff will be gone for a couple of weeks. There in the beginning of August. But don't worry, we'll be back in full force after that. Because, I guess I can announce this too. I'm looking into buying some ad space. I don't mind investing money into this channel to go out there and get ads. To, the bars that come up on the bottom of the screen. If somebody else is watching another movie talk channel or another movie news thing, and a little Mirror Domains banner comes up along the bottom, hey, why not? Or I might shoot like a 15-second video or a 5-second video. It's going to be harder for me. I don't know what I'd be saying. Welcome to Mirror Domains. We're a movie news channel where we talk about movie news, entertainment news, and celebrity news. And I give it to you straight. No fluff. There's my ad kind of thing. But I also want to kind of like highlight that we do it live. Because there is an audience out here for this. And I'm not going to do anything like put it behind a paywall or anything like that. You guys know how I feel about engaging with the woke stuff. I kind of try to keep it at arm's length. I know that stuff gets the clicks. It does. But I mean, I like to try to keep it as pure as possible. And that way, when our audience does blow up to where like the sidebar is going by really fast, I'll be able to hire other people to come in and help out with cutting out the videos and putting into segments and stuff like that. It'll be great. I just got to invest a little bit into it, right? Some of the money I'm making now, I have no problem putting it back into this channel. Because this is the side hustle right now, but I want to make the side hustle the full-time thing, right? That's what I want to do. All right. Guys, did you go out and watch the Kraven the Hunter trailer that dropped last week? I did, and I thought it was, I thought it was interesting. But we now got a composer. So Kraven the Hunter snares composer Benjamin Wallfisch. Wallfisch is coming off his score from The Flash and the Shazam. Wow. Well, actually, I didn't mind this score for The Flash. But he was drawing a lot from Tim Burton's earlier works in that, right? Shazam. I didn't mind this. Actually, I can't even remember the soundtrack for the Shazam. But Kraven the Hunter, Benjamin Wallfisch, guys. I guess we didn't really hear any music from the actual movie in the trailer. They just put like somebody's song over it, right? Wallfisch is a veteran comic book genre with his recent score for The Flash. Hellboy. Oh, he did the Hellboy as well. We watched that. I like that. He's worked with Andy Muschietti on the It films. Oh, okay. So he's got some background with Muschietti as well. Well, yeah, he did Flash. Fascinating. Wait a minute. Hold on here. He did Blade Runner 2049 with Zimmer? Yeah, Zimmer did Blade Runner 2049, right? I like that soundtrack too. Oh, and he did Mortal Kombat 2021 and The Invisible Man. So he's definitely got the resume. Kraven the Hunter, composer. Not too much to say about that. Let's not ramble on about that. Dune Part 2 is coming out this year. It's still it is my most anticipated movie of the year. Dune Part 2, because that's where the action really ramps up. But Dune Part 2 stars Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya on fight scenes and sandworms. Yeah, we know that the sandworms are going to be playing a bigger part in the second one because we saw in the trailer, well, he learns to ride one of them or use it for like combat and stuff. And I'm really looking forward to that stuff. So let's see what they said down here. Chalamet said to Deadline about his character here, about joining the Fremen, right? Says his character is trying to redeem the House of Atreides. In part 1, he was the student. In part 2, he's thrown into the Fremen culture and the terrors of the desert. So he was the student in the first one, and now he becomes like the warrior here in the second one, right? Zendaya and her character. Guys, I know there's different pronunciations for Cheney. I know that Herbert pronounces it Cheney, but a lot of people pronounce it Chani. Whatever. Do we hear her pronounce it in the first movie? We should do a watch along for the first one before this Dune Part 2 comes out. It's on Netflix right now. Oh God, but it's so hot outside. I don't know if I can sit here for 2.5 hours watching Dune. Shoot, James, shoot. I should have done that earlier. Maybe we can wait till the fall. I don't know. But I do want to watch it before Dune Part 2 comes out. We will watch it on the channel before Dune Part 2. So Zendaya talks about her character. A beautiful love story. There's a war going on, and while they're just trying to grow up, we get to do fight scenes. Yeah. There was a main unit, a second unit, and a sandworm unit. Sandworm unit, well, as you know, as I said, we've seen in the trailers that they ride around in the sandworms. So that's awesome. Cool. So we do get some evolution of the characters, which is really nice to see. Yeah, okay, it's a bit of a synopsis there from the last one. Chalamet said, "What a crazy new group. Everyone brought their flavor and came in fully on fire." Well, that's good, because Dune is also one of those casts. It's really big, and it's like that just helps to support the material, right? It makes it just adds to the grandiose scope of the film. For me, at least, it does. And I would concede that helps with smaller movies like Asteroid City as well too. But Dune Part 2, not really that much insight that we could like take and say, hey, you got to go check out this story. It's just like, okay, yeah. When does this come out? November 3rd. November 3rd for Dune Part 2. So we got to remember that. And Zendaya is one of my favorite actresses right now. Timothée Chalamet. Got nothing against him except for that movie Bones and All last year that didn't really work for me, but seemed to work for other people. Dune Part 2. Fight scenes. Sandworm unit, huh? That's like what first unit is just like people who shoot like actual with the actors and stuff. Second unit's kind of like the pickup stuff, stunts and stuff like. So if you need a shot of a hand going down and picking up a remote or a lightsaber, then that's what the second unit kind of does. It does all those kinds of things. And then they had a special unit for the sandworms. No. Dune Part 2 is going to be one of those movies where you will want to watch the behind the scenes documentaries where they're doing all of that kind of stuff to as movie fans, right? We want to see that stuff. We want to check that stuff out. That gets me hyped. It does. All right. This one is just kind of it's not anything new, guys. Die Hard 2. This headline caught my eye. Bruce Willis hated this Die Hard 2 line. Ooh, I really like Die Hard 2. I know some people are like, it's one of the worst ones. No, it's not. I like Die Hard 1 the best, and then I like Die Hard 3, and then I like Die Hard 2. I still like Die Hard 2 a lot because I saw it in the theater with my family when I was small and stuff like that. I love the scene when he gets blown out of the plane with the grenades and stuff, and he's like flying towards the screen. It was like silly, but yeah, it's fun. And Willis played that nicely. So what was this line? What line could it be? It's not the yippee-ki-yay line, is it? Or is it the line that where he says, how could the same thing happen to the same guy twice? Could that be it? What do you guys got your money on? What could be the worst line that he didn't want to say? Well, that's what I wanted to click the headline to figure out. So when I was reading it, he said it was one-liners are jokey comments and BS. That's not real life. In a real situation with lives on the line, you can't say that kind of thing. So you can't say yippee-ki-yay. So please don't say that it's the yippee-ki-yay line, because that's what makes everybody, that's like fan favorite. But Bruce Willis drew the line by saying just the facts during a bit where a flirty airport worker helps him send a fax to his friend there from the first movie, right? Quote, he said, it's cheesy, it's stupid, I'm not going to say it. Finally, producer Joel Silver got involved and the line was shot as planned. And actually, do you guys remember that part when he's sending it to Michael Winslow's character from the first movie, the cop, about the fingerprints? And the lady asks him out, and he's just like, just the facts, ma'am, just the facts. He didn't want to say that line. Out of all the lines. And I like that line. That line got me to chuckle. Just the facts. Now, most people today will be like, what the heck is a fax machine? Wait, you guys used to do it like that? Yeah, we used to do it like that. But, yeah, that's a technology that went by the way of the dodo, didn't it? I had lots of fun with Die Hard 2. I just, as a curiosity, Joe Blow had that up there, and I got to figure out what line that he didn't like. That one seemed kind of harmless. That's not during the action sequences, right? Where it's kind of like, I got enough friends, or something like that. Yeah, I like it. I like Die Hard 2. And the switch, the reveal in that got me. It did. I didn't. It flew past me. I wasn't fast enough at that age to catch on to it. So I like the twist in that movie. All right. Need to have a rag in here. I forgot. We still got 20 minutes or so. All right. Last week we saw the trailer for Sofia Coppola's Priscilla movie, but apparently Elvis Presley's estate calls Sofia Coppola's Priscilla horrible, which kind of sucks because in the trailer it was endorsed by Priscilla Presley. She endorsed it, and it was off a biography of hers, right? So it was fully endorsed by her, but the Elvis estate called it horrible, which kind of, so what is there going on here? Some jousting of rights issues or something? I thought the trailer looked fine. It was just a quick little 40-second teaser kind of thing, right? The girl from Kraft Legacy is going to be playing the young Priscilla, and Jacob Elordi's playing Elvis, but it's mostly from her point of view, and I thought it looked fairly interesting, based on her own memoir from 1985. Elvis and Me or something is called, right? But Sophia, okay, so Elvis Estate had called Sophia's work horrible, adding, "It feels like a college movie. The set designs are just horrific. It's not what Graceland looks like." Oh, so they're not happy with the way that it made Graceland look. Another Priscilla money grab. Hey, you're coming down to the final chapters of your life, like the final last block, and you want to be able to share some of these stories and insights of your life, especially with the king, right? And I really like Sofia Coppola's work, but it is stylized. It's not as heavily stylized as, say, like a Wes Anderson, but she does have her own technique and her own flares, and you'll know that if you watch movies like Marie Antoinette. And I expect to see that kind of flavor peppered in with this Priscilla movie, which I thought I liked it a lot. So somehow has yet to see Priscilla. Priscilla Presley herself has yet to see it, but she said, "I'm very excited to see the interpretation of my book by the masterful Sofia Coppola. She has such extraordinary perspective, and I have always been such an admirer of her work. I'm certain this movie will take everyone on an emotional journey." Yeah. So Priscilla's plot, the movie, when teenage Priscilla meets Elvis at a party, the man who is already on a meteoric rock and roll superstar becomes someone entirely unexpected in private moments. A thrilling crush, an ally in loneliness, a gentle best friend. Through Priscilla's eyes, Sofia Coppola tells the unseen side of a great American myth in Elvis and Priscilla's long courtship and turbulent marriage, from a German army base to his dream world estate at Graceland, in this deeply felt and ravishingly detailed portrait of love, fantasy, and fame. So it's for May 24. Bummer that the estate didn't like it, but hey, if they got the rights for it, that's all they can do is say that they don't like it. They can't say don't make it. I'll reserve judgment for when the movie comes out. It's going to be, if you're an Elvis fan, I think most people will want to check it out just to see what they're saying. I don't think they're going to say anything bad. It's not going to be like the Baz Luhrmann film, where, you know, they do talk about some of the other bad things about, like, dealing with the colonel or whatever, right? It's more all from Priscilla's point of view, but some backlash there a little bit. I can't please everyone sometimes. Talking about not pleasing everyone, let's talk about Taylor Swift. James, really? You talking about Taylor Swift? Yes. Taylor Swift asks concert audience not to mess with the subject of her Dear John song. Now, if you're not a Swiftie, you know that Swifties like to examine and study Taylor Swift's lyrics. Yes, she does put in Easter eggs for her fans. And people think that Dear John is about some breakup or something like that. But Taylor Swift is also known for, you know, embellishing and creating stories of her own for song lyrics. Lots of people do it. I do it. So they're saying don't read too much into it. I'm guessing is what she's going to say. Let's just see what she said here in this quote. Quote, "I'm 33 years old. I don't care about anything that happened to me when I was 8 or 19, except the songs that I wrote. Her fans should not feel the need to defend me on the internet against someone you think I have written a song about 14 billion years ago." Yeah, some fans come out and say, well, this song is about this person, so we got to defend you. We're going to come to bat, and we're going to, launch this online campaign. Yeah, guys. It's a song that she wrote when she was 19. And this comes about because, her Taylor's version of Speak Now comes out soon, right? Is that what was Dear John on Speak Now? Yeah, right? So she's playing these songs on her Eras tour. And I learned the reason why she's not playing Canada because we don't have a stadium big enough for her stage and her event, which kind of sucks. That can't fit in Rogers Center where the Blue Jays play. You're telling me that can't fit in there? Bummer, man. That's the only reason? Well, then I should have gone down to the Detroit show. Too late. I guess I missed my chance. But there'll be other tours along the line. My guess is that she'll finish this tour. She'll maybe write another album. And then I suspect that she's probably going to start a family because she's 33, guys. And she's going to be a great mother. I was hoping to ask you as we lead up to this album coming out. I would love for that kindness and gentleness to extend to our internet activities. Yeah, so don't twist the Dear John lyrics or song into something that it's not. And I kind of agree with her on that. If you guys aren't aware of that kind of stuff, well, that's kind of what Taylor Swift fandom is all about. I don't get too much into that myself. I just put her music on in the background sometimes when I'm playing a video game or something like that. All right, let's talk about Mr. Beast. Yes, a YouTuber, a fellow YouTuber, Mr. Beast. And that whole sub scenario that happened last week, may they rest in peace. Mr. Beast says he turned down invitation to join Titanic submersible voyage. Kind of scary that I could have been on it. Yeah, he could have been on it because he does a lot of those outlandish stuff, like the costly stuff to make his YouTube videos. Yeah, is he talking about people who invest back into their channels? So that's what I would be doing here too if I put up ad revenues and stuff like that. Try to start campaigns to get people engaged and talking about the channel. So I do draw inspiration from Mr. Beast. I don't watch any of his content, but I do, follow and try to learn from his methodologies. But apparently, it's kind of shocking that doesn't surprise me, actually, that he was offered that. But it's kind of shocking that, it ended in such a way. And I'm sure he is too. And that's why he's talking about it, right? So he said in an interview with with Variety, let's say, quote, I was invited earlier this month to ride the Titanic submarine. I said no. Kind of scary. I could have been on it. Mr. Beast tweeted Sunday morning. Okay, so he said it in a tweet. Because the sub suffered a catastrophic implosion. So, Mr. Beast, it's just one of those things. My thoughts on it, I've said it before, guys. Now that everything's coming out, is like they weren't paying attention to all the engineers' inspections. They were foregoing a lot of that stuff. So they knew that the sub that they were going down in, the people who were driving it, was not passing certain, quality checks. It's like, if I'm paying $250K to go ride that thing, I want to make sure that, all the specifications are being followed. And I just found it kind of a bummer story. So I didn't want to follow it too much into the nuances to, James Cameron's ability. We got a scientist on describing all this stuff. I was like, I didn't follow it that close. I know that it happened. Now that Mr. Beast could have been on it, why is that saying Taylor Swift on? Oh, mercy, James. No one saw it. Mr. Beast, yeah. I was invited earlier this month. So, 162 million subscribers. That would have been his story. Wow. But I like Mr. Beast too because he goes out and helps people. He helps people. That's just what I would like to do. I would like to help people, but I don't know how to transform a movie talk channel into helping people. We'll figure out a way somehow. Eventually, I'll have to transform it into a way to get a wider audience like Mr. Beast does. Because he does different content. So why can't we do different content here? I still would do the movie news, but after that, see, what I would like to do is I would come up, do the movie news show in the morning. It doesn't take hours and hours to put together like some people would have you believe. I would finish it. I would have a team, another person come in, cut out all the clips, make the thumbnails, and post the separate stories cut out up on the channel. And then I would go on to do other stuff, like streaming games in the afternoon and maybe even playing music. That would be awesome, right? on a daily kind of basis. We'll have to see. We'll get there, guys. We'll get there. This is just some hit or miss headlines. This is kind of a bummer. Julian Sands search, hikers find human remains in area where actor disappeared. Yeah, we talked about this last week too, where they were still working on the search just to bring closure to the family. What happened? He went out hiking in an area where there's like avalanches and stuff to try to look for other people, from what I understood. And he went missing. It just got so snow heavy out there that they had to stop the search, but now they've gone out in the similar area and found out, and I guess they found some remains. Is it confirmed, though, that it's him? The announcement does not promise identification should be complete within the next week. So it's not confirmed yet, but they did find some remains. And that's all you're going to find, because obviously something happened. He slipped and fell or something and hurt himself, knocked himself out maybe, and just never woke up. It sucks. But it looks like we're going to finally get some closure on that. Bummer, man. Julian Sands, Arachnophobia, Warlock movies, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and just that's a bummer. All right, what's next? Tamil star Kamal Hassan joins Prabhas Amitabh Bachchan and Deepa Padukone, or Padukone is how you pronounce it, right? In Telugu epic Project K. Well, she's big. Prabhas is huge. I don't know this Amitabh Bachchan. Kamal Hassan. Cool, though. Project K, huh? Telugu sci-fi epic. Sci-fi. So they're going to dabble with some space or sci-fi stuff. Cool. I like to see that. Hassan recently appeared in the Tamil action film Vikram. Cool. Prabhas, of course, is currently Adi Puruyush. Sorry, I'm butchering that. Okay. Yeah, I really want to see. Now that's what else could happen if I start investing in the channel. I could go back and revitalize the Mirror Domains India channel and start doing a lot more of this stuff. We could do full movie watch-alongs on a daily basis. We could do this stuff. We can do it. And I just got to get back into it, revamp it. And we do live streams. People put in their live chats and stuff like that while we're watching and stuff. We can make it happen. We can make it happen. I sense it. I feel it. It's going to happen. All right. That's pretty much all I got in the can for today, guys. 11:54. I'm just going to refresh my YouTube page to see if any trailers dropped. I don't suspect any big trailers will drop this week for Indiana Jones. It's possible. We may get another... Maybe we'll get a Dune Part 2 trailer this week. Maybe? No, it's still too early for November. Just refreshing to see if I got any new trailers. There's a Witcher trailer. No new trailers there. All right. Let's go over to film updates, see what we got going on here. Barbie console. Yeah, yesterday they had some kind of premiere, right? So they had Barbie premiere, so that's going to be all over this. Renate has been cast as Alfan Uman Tolandi's Armand. What? It follows 6-year-old Armand, who is accused of crossing boundaries at school, triggering a series of events forcing parents and staff into a battle of redemption. Fascinating. Chris Schober says, I hope Mark Hamill was just trolling us about that interview on CBS to returning to Star Wars. Do you think Mark Hamill's still coming back for Luke Skywalker, James? Yes, I do. And I think it'll make sense when he does, especially if they make Heir to the Empire more like Luke appears in Heir to the Empire. And if they take it in the way that they do in Heir to the Empire, I think Mark Hamill will be on board with it, because they can explain why he was acting the way that he does in The Last Jedi if they take that opportunity and say that The Last Jedi Luke was the Luke, not the Grandmaster Jedi Luke that we got at the end of Return of the Jedi. Anyway, let's not digress. Bedmash. What the heck is, why is that trending? Is that some, that has to do with math? Nicholas Winding Refn is developing an adaptation of children's book The Famous Five for the BBC. It follows five darling young explorers as they encounter treacherous action-packed adventures, mysteries, and unparalleled danger in astounding secrets and unformed odyssey. Nicholas Winding Refn is adapting a children's book? Guys, he did Drive, Neon Demon, very abstract work. I gotta say, I don't know if I see this happening. Him adapting a kid's, possibly. I don't know. Ooh, happy birthday to Aubrey Plaza. God, Emily the Criminal was a good movie. Wasn't it? It was awesome. And Aubrey Plaza's cool. She's got a really weird sense of humor. And she's gorgeous too, right? I like her. Operation Fortune kind of sucked. Nobody saw it. Aubrey Plaza. Happy birthday. What's next? Paul Mescal, Ridley Scott in Morocco for Gladiator 2. So this is the cast of Gladiator 2. Pedro Pascal. He's going to be playing Lucius, right? The young Lucius, and the guy from 300 who gets kicked down the well. Peter Mensah and May Calloway. May Calloway is one of these ones. I can't. Is that her right there? She was in Moon Knight, right? As the Scarab. That's cool. Jennifer Lawrence at the Pride Parade. Cool. Yeah. You can't come at her with that kind of woke crap. She won't stand for it. She's very progressive. I'm progressive. Champions people's rights, and there's nothing wrong with that, guys. There's nothing wrong with saying that people deserve equal rights. And if you try to say that there isn't something wrong with standing up for that kind of stuff, then it's possible you and I can't be friends. Bummer. Happy birthday to Hong Chau. Cool. We just saw her in Asteroid City. She was in Asteroid City. She was also in The Menu last year. And she was in The Whale as well, right? Yeah, I don't know who those are. Keith Powers. Oh, Gabrielle Union. I know who she is. Who else? What else here? Barbie. Ryan Gosling and Issa Rae for Barbie Photo Call. Yeah. Mingo Coleman. Okay, so that's where we met up yesterday with the Barbie premiere stuff. So that's pretty much all that's trending here. Superman Legacy's trending. Let's take a look at why that's trending. James Gunn's says Superman Legacy into sequence with half live action, half AI. What? This will emphasize two sides of Clark Kent, his human upbringing, and his more alien art-stealing, creatively void cost savings measures. What? The heck is that about? Actor Pearson Fodde has made stunt video for his audition for the upcoming James Gunn Legacy. So this guy wants to be the Superman. Pearson Fodde. So he made his own demo reel, his audition tape. Well, hey, you know what? That's what Tom Holland did for Spider-Man. He did like a bunch of parkour spinning type moves in his backyard or something. And people were on board for that. So I don't think that'll work. But hey, if that's... It looks like he might have the jawline of a Superman. Possible. Can you see this guy as a Superman? First look at James Gunn's Superman Legacy. See, again, you're just trying to fake that there. And that's what's happened in... Jeez. Okay, so yeah, guys, that's pretty much all we got in the can for today. Join us tomorrow for more movie news. There's going to be no full movie watch along this week because, as I said, this is kind of like it's a week that I gotta be kind of like I gotta be going in for training early one day this week, and I don't know which day that's going to be. So I kind of have to. I can't confirm a watch along. So we'll just fall back to the movie news stuff and the full live watch along for Secret Invasion episode 2 this week on Wednesday for sure. Did you hear about the Jonathan Majors major news? They said he might be guilty, but here's what they're saying: he might be innocent. Well, yeah, we know that. That's his court dates for August, right? Jonathan Majors. Arglass Viking says, funny how Tom Cruise was annoyed that Oppenheimer taking the screens from his opening. No mention of Barbie movie, which will take the remaining screens from Tom. Yeah. But I'm hoping that Dead Reckoning, Mission Impossible will make $1 billion. I'm hoping that it's going to be a big, because I'm going to another city to see it in IMAX. That's what I'm doing. For sure. All right, guys, that's it for me today. Hit that thumbs up button. If something else drops, I'll try to do it as quickly as I can. If not, I'll see you tomorrow. And I think we'll do it at 10:30 tomorrow morning, guys. We'll try 10:30 tomorrow, just as to see, right? See if I like it. All right, see you next time on Mirror Domains. Enjoy the rest of your day.